Tonight we're going to be talking about equipment and marketing. Last week we talked about business structure and location, and that video is actually on our YouTube channel. You can actually go back and watch that if you wanted to check that out. We're going to be talking about equipment and marketing. Okay. So we also go live on YouTube. Let me put my camera so it doesn't fall. We also go live on YouTube. But if you have any questions or if you're in the AutoBody industry, let me know. We get started here. Turn the camera on. Here we are. Okay. Bridge there. I want my phone to fall. Okay. Good to go. I'm in here in the back room. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're in the auto body collision industry. Who we have attending? What's up, Diego? I'm gonna turn the chat on, Diego. If you have any questions, let me get started here. We should be live on YouTube as well. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna get there. If you're in the auto body industry, let me know if you have any questions about equipment and marketing. Last week we talked about structure and location, which is going to be very important. There we are. Okay, let's get it. Okay, we should be good here. We should be good. I'm also on. We usually have our live webinars on a Zoom call, but I'm also on YouTube and I'm also on TikTok because we get a lot of questions from on TikTok about estimating, about structure of the shop, and so we decided to go live on both. So we're actually on, like I said, we're on YouTube, and on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, you can ask some questions. I can probably answer your questions there. Also on YouTube and well, probably not on YouTube, but on Zoom, I can answer some of your questions. And so tonight we're gonna jump into it, and we're gonna talk about the equipment and marketing for your new shop. If you're trying to build a new location, and a lot of times what I hear technicians talk about is their struggle to buy like heavy equipment, right? And we'll go into that, and also to the marketing. They don't really have a way of marketing. I'm going to tell you how to convert from word of mouth to actual to being present in the marketplace, where you're widening your range of potential clients, and you're going to start to narrow down your potential clients, which is going to be very important, especially for any business, because most uh, businesses, they start off word of mouth, and a lot of times they don't want to market because they're like, man, I got word of mouth. I don't need no business, right? But you have to kind of analyze your current database, your current client. Are they difficult to work with? Do they want discounts all the time? What is your average RO number? What is your average repair profit margin, right? So you have to calculate all these things out to say, you know what, hey, if I actually market to a different audience, my average ticket can probably go up another $1,000, 2,000, whatever the case may be. And when I say what's your average ticket price, let's just say, for example, for the month, you did 50 transactions, right? And they range from 2,000 to 5,000. So what you do is you add all that up and then you divide it. So you divide it by, what did I say, 50? So let's just say you did 50 transactions a month, right? and they range from 2,000 to 5,000. Well, you add all that up and then you divide it by 50, and that's going to tell you your average ticket amount, what you're making per average per job. And that's going to be a number that's going to be very important because whatever you're trying to hit for the year, now you can go every month and you can say, okay, where am I at? What is my target and where do I need to be at? What adjustments do I need to make? Do I need to step up the marketing? Do I need to review our tickets? Are we not, pricing right? Are we losing money here? What can we get with our vendors to maybe get a discount so we can increase our profit margins, right? So there's a bunch of different things you can do there. But let's talk about equipment real quick. So turn this off. There we go. So equipment is one of the first things that most shops kind of struggle with because they feel like they have to go buy this expensive frame machine. They have to go buy this expensive paint booth. And a lot of times, if depending on the way they're structured, they're not able to get funding right for that. So there's a couple of things that you're going to need for to run to kind of get yourself up and running, right? And one of the things when I say equipment, that's also systems, right? So you're going to need an estimating system, right? We talked about that last week about an estimating system. How important is an estimating system? Because look, whenever you transition to having your own place and you're not writing accurate estimates, you probably could be losing money, especially on materials, especially on just time. And also it's going to be hard to hire help because you don't know the actual labor cost and you don't have a breakdown. So you're not going to be able to hire help and pay them a percentage of that profit you're making on labor because you don't even know the number. So equipment is going to be like the estimating system you have. Okay, then okay, most depending if you're going to do like complete paint jobs or if you're just going to do a panel replacement like spot panel and stuff like that. With spot panel, you don't really need a paint booth for that, but you have to be careful because if you're going to be painting in the shop, you're going to get probably overspray on the other vehicles. So one of the best things you could probably do is maybe get like an inflatable booth. Those are pretty cheap. Or you can even go to I think it's Auto Mart, and I think the cheapest booth is like about $6,000. So you can buy a pretty cheap booth just to get started. Just to get started, you will need a good compressor, and you will need a good water trap. Right, that's going to be the probably one of the main things: the compressor and the water trap. A good DeVelvis water trap, not a small one. You want to get like the bigger one. It's like I think like almost 13 inches tall. It's a pretty big water trap that really good for painting and stuff like that. But how can you get some equipment finance, right? So a couple ways you can do that is you can build some relationships with the tool trucks, and you might already have those. If you're a technician working at a dealership, you probably already have those relationships with the tool guy, and say, hey, I need to buy a big compressor, right? I need to buy a water trap. So those guys are going to be able to work with you because you might have built a relationship with them already on, getting the equipment you needed, right? The other thing is for the bigger equipment like the paint booth and frame machine like that, you're going to have to go to a small bank. And the way we're going to do that is you got to build some banking relationships, right? And the banking relationships might go based off of you getting a collateral loan, or you building a relationship by getting a small loan, paying that back, and then get another loan and pay that back. So for example, right now, if you're at a dealership or you're somewhere, you might want to go get a small uh collateral loan or a personal loan and say, hey, you know what, eventually I want to finance some equipment, but I want to start to get that relationship going so that I can, be in a position later to get that loan, right? And so that's going to be very important down the road. So you want to start to build that relationship as soon as possible. Because what's cool about it is like once you build that relationship, you can get a $10,000 paint booth for 2 grand. And what I mean by that, they're only going to ask for 2 grand down, and they'll finance the rest. The thing that you will have to do is you will have to get insurance on the booth because it does have a lien on it, right? So you will have to get some kind of insurance on it just saying that if the place were to burn or whatever, that they'll cover that booth. And so it can just be for the loan amount. It doesn't have to be for the booth value of it or whatever. So you can actually just get to cover the loan for it to be a little less, right? As far as frame machine too, right? So frame machine, um, you could probably start with like a smaller frame rack, or you can actually go with what's actually becoming really popular. Like, look, if there's a lot of shops that are selling old equipment, uh, see if they'll take payments on that stuff. You know, go and negotiate and says, hey man, I want to buy this frame machine from you. Can you sell it to me uh through a promissory note or something in writing? And why not try to work it up? It's gonna be up to you to be proactive and say, go up to that other shop owner and says, hey, I noticed you have a frame machine for sale for 10 grand. Can we do a promissory note and I pay every month on it? And the thing about it is like you don't have to negotiate with interest and all this stuff. Just say, hey man, like I want to buy this paint booth from you. I know you're selling it for 10 grand. Can I buy it from you in payments? And you just say, how much will you pay me a month? Say, I'll pay you $200 a month. You don't have to talk about interest and all that stuff. If you if it's not part of the discussion, don't talk about it. Maybe you can get it for zero interest, you know? So it's just a matter of you putting yourself in that position to have that conversation. And remember, like that thing's gonna pay itself off pretty quick once you get it going, you know? And also it's gonna allow you to do other jobs, you know, in your shop. Uh, let me know if you have any questions on the TikTok. We're talking about marketing and equipment. Right now, we're on equipment for your auto shop, auto collision shop, or auto body shop, automotive shop, whatever the case may be. And then we're going to go into some marketing stuff to start to put a bigger range out there to start to get more clients and build up your business. Let me know if you have any questions on the Zoom. I know Diego's in here, but now's your time to ask any questions. Let me see. Yeah, now's your time to ask any questions, whether you're on TikTok or Zoom about anything related to equipment in the automotive industry, paint and body or automotive, whether it be financing, uh, the type of equipment you're gonna need, stuff like that. But what's cool is like if you're gonna do insurance claims, uh, you really don't need a lot of startup money if you position yourself right to get some insurance jobs, because see, most insurance jobs will pay you that same day, right? So for example, if you get a couple insurance claims and they're not too bad, you can probably knock those out within a week or two, and you'll start to build some revenue for your business. So it could happen pretty quick if you know you have everything in place. Even if you don't have everything in place, you know you might have to turn down a couple of jobs at first, you know that are too big for you to do. Other equipment you're probably going to need is maybe some good lighting, maybe a good heater, depending on what part you're in of I'm in Texas, so a good heater will be pretty good. You can get a kerosene heater; those are pretty cool. Our propane heater, those are going to help. Some of the things just to be prepared for. For sure, lighting. You're going to need some good lighting, just so whenever it is raining or whenever you know it's weather time, it's not too dark into your shop. But you will probably need a trim gauge. A trim gauge, what a trim gauge is, it allows you to measure the frame. And a trim gauge, they're like about maybe 300 to 400 bucks. You can buy a good trim gauge with that, and that's just to see if your front end is squared on the vehicle, right? If it's in a front end collision, you want to see is it if it's squared or not, you know. Other equipment, I think that the main thing is like most people try to get financing with equipment, right? And if you can either go to the bank and say, hey, I want to get a loan for all this equipment, it's going to be, you know, let's just say the booth is 30 grand, the frame machine is 15. Let's say you want to get a loan for 60 grand, right? Um, it it's gonna be kind of tricky. It's gonna be kind of hard because they see it as a high risk. Because look at it this way. If a bank's gonna give you money to buy a paint booth, right? Once the paint booth, it's kind of like buying a shed, right? An expensive shed. There's no value in that for the bank. So if you don't pay them back, they know they're gonna lose that money. So it's very risky. Someone asked me a question, why is the body shop so risky for loans? I said, because okay, think about it. Like if you go get a loan for 20,000, 30,000 for a frame machine and you can't pay the bank back, what are they gonna do with this frame machine? Like they can't just sell the frame machine, you know? And plus they're not gonna be able to sell it for what maybe you owe them. And so that it's just gonna sit there and they're eventually gonna take a loss. So that's the way they see it. Can body shops charge insurance companies for storage before they approve a job? Before they approve a job, no, I mean you probably could you there wouldn't be a reason to charge storage for it. So how long has the vehicle been sitting there? How long has it? Someone asked the question: can a body shop charge insurance company for storage before they approve a job? 2 weeks, man. That's pretty typical on how long it takes to approve a job. Someone asked the question, can you charge storage before they approve a job? Um, the thing is, like, this is the steps of the insurance thing, right? So let's say someone gets in an accident on a Monday, right? Okay, they file the claim. They reach out to the person that owns the vehicle. More likely, they're gonna ask to send photos, right? They send the photos in, then they do a desk assignment. That takes about a week, right? Then then they review it, and then they might be trying to decide if they're going to total it out, or they're trying to cut corners and trying to get it the cheapest they can. So it takes about, a week or two before you can get approval back. Sometimes faster. The best thing to do is just to keep following up. And the on that, okay, like on that, what was your name? User that asked the question. Let me give you a tip on that. So what I would suggest on that is, look, I would email them every day for an update on the claim. And let me tell you why. I would email them up every day, update on the claim, right? And every time I email them, I would print a copy of that email and I'll put it in their folder, right? Because remember, if that person is using their insurance, uh, if they're using their policy for that claim, they only have 30 days. So they already lost 2 weeks. So that means they only have 3 weeks left, right? So that means that if they haven't approved it yet, let's say they approve it in the third week. So that means you have 2 weeks to get the car done. So the customer's gonna be like, hey, my car's gonna be up, my rent is gonna be up in 2 weeks. Uh, I need my car back. So now they're gonna rush you because the insurance took a long time to approve that estimate. So make sure you have your paper trail. That way, whenever the client calls you and says, hey, I need my car back, my rental is due up in 1 week, you can say, hey, look, it took them 2.5 weeks to approve your estimate. It's going to take us a week to order parts. It's going to take us a week to do a supplement. Like, what if the parts come in damaged? Like, see, like you have to explain to them, hey, this we can't rush it because the insurance took a long time getting that claim approved. So make sure you have that paper trail and make sure you kind of update the customer and say, hey, I just emailed the insurance again. I haven't got a response back. And make sure you document that. Make sure you document that because whenever their rental's out, they're gonna get pissed off, especially if they need that vehicle for work and stuff like that. So I hope that was able to answer your question. But uh, you can charge of storage if it's a total loss. So most shops, what the mistake they make whenever it's a total loss is the insurance was there. How much do we owe you for storage? You're like, okay, the car was here for 15 days. How much is it a day, right? 25 or $30 a day, right? And then they pay that amount. Okay, but you have to remember, if you tore down that vehicle, if you did a blueprint on it and it took you 2 hours, 3 hours, you can charge them 3 hours tear down. if if the transmission coolant was leaking and there was oil leaking, you can charge them for cleanup time on that. If you have to put the kitty litter and all that stuff, you can charge for that separately, right? Uh, Admin fee for you to enter all the data into the insurance company, do the scans, uh, anything that you did to that vehicle, like you need to make sure you charge for it. Admin fee, you processed, you entered that vehicle into the system, or you mirrored the estimate or whatever. Uh, what else you think we can add? Um, I mean, the teardown for sure. The admin fees, any cleanup if there was an oil spill, uh, any glass cleanup, I mean, anything that you scans, if you have to scan it, uh, like remember, like you have to take the time and itemize these things out because you are getting paid for it. I mean, you are doing it. Back in the days, like whenever they would just give us pay a storage $20 a day, we were happy with that. But then I'm like, hey, well, we tore down this vehicle and you know we ordered parts and now they're gonna total it out, so they don't want to return the parts. You could charge them for those parts too if they don't want to return them. We did a Renegade a while back, and we bought the front end on it, and then they turned around and totaled it out, and so we charged them for all those parts because they weren't going to return them. It was too long. So I hope answer your question on that. Let me see. So we're gonna get into marketing. Let me know if you have any more questions. Yes, sir. Thank you. Let me know if you can have if you have any more questions. I'm gonna go into marketing now, and marketing your automotive shop, collision shop, and one of the common things that I hear a lot from a lot of shop owners is like, I don't need to market. I have word of mouth. Okay. I have word of mouth. I have enough work because it's all word of mouth. Okay. Well, what tends to happen is you got word of mouth is because a lot of them are your friends. Are there people that you know that you're gonna give them a discount, or they know you're gonna hook it up. They know that you're gonna give them a good deal. It's kind of like let's just say like you uh I mean, you know how it is. I mean, if your friend comes in and they want something, like, come on, man, give me a discount, hook me up, man, and like, and you don't want to like say no, and so you end up doing it, but then you end up losing money, right? So you got to be clear. Look, you got to be clear on what jobs you want to do, and the way I see it is like this. Look, if you ask yourself these three questions, okay, how much time is it going to take me? How much money and how much emotional energy is this going to take me? Ask yourself those three questions on every job you get. How much time, how much money, how much emotional energy is this client going to cost me? And what I mean by that is like, okay, I'll tell you a story. We did about 2 years ago. There was this man. He was an Asian, and he came in the shop, and he's like, "Hey, I need your help." I didn't know the man, right? He's like, I saw y'all on Google Maps. It said you're a real good shop. Uh, I need some help. And I said, what do you need, sir? He's like, uh, I wrecked my car, but I don't have insurance. He goes, I want to pay out of pocket, but I just need it drivable. Okay. He goes, because I just got to get to work at home. That's it. I said, okay. I said, but so I gave him an estimate, and it was a right fender, bumper. Um, I think it was a strut and a right headlight or something, right? It wasn't too bad, but I said okay, and so I gave him an estimate. I said, look, we're gonna have to put the new bumper, put the right fender. It's gonna need a strut, and it's gonna need a wheel alignment to make sure that everything's lined up, and also it's gonna need a headlight. And he's like, okay. So I gave him an estimate, right? And he said, what if you don't paint it? Just take the paint off. I don't want to paint it. And I said, I can't not paint the fender because it's primered and it's gonna rust out. I said I could leave the bumper black if you want that, and I could take something off of that. I ended up just painting the bumper and the fender anyway because it was gonna look stupid, like trying to put a black bumper, right? We got the suspension fixed, and I said, hey, it needs an alignment. The alignment's $89. He's like, no, I'm gonna pay for that myself. I said, no, like let me take it for the alignment shot because it might have the control arm might be bent or something might be bent on it. And the only way you're gonna tell is if you get an alignment on it, right? He says, no, I'm gonna do it myself. I said, no, like so he started like after he agreed to say, yeah, get the alignment done, this and that, he started to change his mind. He's like, no, take the alignment off. That's gonna save me more money. And I said, no, I said, you agreed to do the alignment on there. I hadn't done it yet, but I said, I was gonna take it to get alignment. I said, it needs an alignment to see if the strut is everything's lined up because we put a new strut on it. He says, no, I don't want to pay for that. I'm not gonna pay for that. I'll do it myself. I have a friend that would do it. Long story short, so I said, okay, look, if you're gonna get the alignment done yourself, I need you to sign a waiver saying that you're gonna get it done yourself, and you're not gonna blame me if it's not aligned or whatever, right? Because I had a feeling he wasn't gonna do it. I just had a feeling he wasn't gonna do it. So I made him sign a waiver saying that we weren't responsible for doing the alignment, and if there was anything else, he was gonna cover it, right? Okay, so a month later, this guy calls me. He's like, "Hey, my alignment's off." And I said, "Did you go get an alignment?" He's like, "No." And I said, "Do you said you were gonna get an alignment?" He's like, "Yeah, I know, but I didn't think it needed because it was driving straight." And he says, "Well, I need you to do the alignment." So so that's an example of like you asking yourself these questions, saying, "Hey, how much money, how much energy, how much time, how much energy, how much money, and how much emotional energy?" Because we didn't like it wasn't a big job, but it was so draining because he I was having to like kind of he was so stubborn. He wanted to kind of argue. Yeah, he kind of wanted to. Yeah, he wanted to. You try to help someone out, and it backfires on you exactly. So you have to be very cautious of this because you know we want to help people, man. Like people come in and they're like, man, I'm in a bad situation. Can you help me out? And the best thing you can do, like, is just say, no, I can't help you. Like, I can recommend you someone or go down the street. This guy will do it for cheaper, and he doesn't care how it comes out if that's what you want. So you have to decide like what jobs you're gonna do because the jobs that drain you emotionally, you don't make any money out of those, and they consume, they take away from your clients that are actually wanting to pay you. So that's going to be very important is to make sure that you're not giving your energy to clients that want everything for free and they're calling you and bugging you and can you do this? Can you take this off? And can you give me a discount on this? And you're trying to work these numbers to try to make them happy. And then what happens is you neglect the customers and the clients that really, you know, appreciate your work and they're like, hey man, whatever it takes is do it. I'm gonna pay for it. I know you do good work. So that's something I learned because those jobs always would backfire on me. And so we just said no. We stopped saying no to anything. People that wanted to save on deductibles. Hey, can you save me my deductible? Like we'll be like, no, we can't. Like, and let me tell you why. It's because if that deductible goes to something on the car to fix it, you know. And the thing is, like in the body shop industry, the profit margins are not too great. So you have to one little mess up, one little mistake, it'll set you back. And so that's why it's very important. I know I'm kind of getting off subject, but I want to add to this. If you're not doing this now, I would highly suggest that you do it. And I'm going to go into marketing after this. Okay, um, is to document that when they drop it off. As soon as they drop off the vehicle, make sure you take photos of it and document the interior, uh, the whatever, everything, the trunk, the back seat, the front seats, um, the around the vehicle, any kind of damage, anything you see, any the windshield. Make sure if there's a crack on there, take a picture of it because if you fail to document it and they come to pick up their vehicle, they're like, "Hey, I don't remember this dent being here. This dent wasn't here when I dropped it off. Uh, now you're having to argue with them and say, no, we didn't do that here, you know, and so you're going back and forth trying to justify if you did it or not, right? Let me see. Is it the best to do what with the customers if they're available? Is it? What do you mean by that? Is it best to do that with the customers if they're available? Tell me what you mean by that. But documenting the document checking it, it's called the check-in process. The check-in process, you check in the vehicle, you take all the photos, you document everything that's broken, cracked, the rims, the mileage, the fuel, everything, everything. Because let's just say, for example, you're doing the left side or something, and there's a dent on the quarter panel that you're not painting the quarter panel, but there's a dent there, there's a scratch there. Customer comes and picks it up and says, hey, I don't remember this scratch being there. I need you to fix it. It wasn't like that. And you don't have no photos or documentation to show that it was already there. You might have to paint that quarter panel. And so that, to paint a quarter panel, you're looking at 300 bucks, $300-400 you're gonna lose. I think he might to do that walk away with the customer. Oh yeah, you could do the walk around with the customer. Yeah. Yeah, you could do the walk around with them. Uh do the walk around with them and just remind them, hey, did you get make sure you got everything out. um you know because remember, a lot of times, if a vehicle is really bad, it goes to like a tow yard, or it goes to the insurance impound, and it'll sit there for a while, so that car gets moved quite a bit before it can actually get dropped off to a shop sometimes. And so a lot of times, I mean, there'll be personal items in those things, so you got to document all that stuff and make sure, hey, this is the way the vehicle came when I dropped it off, So I'm gonna get into marketing. I hope answering some of y'all's questions there. Let's get into marketing real quick, and some things you can do. This to start to create a bigger audience, a bigger clientele base. And so some of the things you can do with marketing is, I mean, for sure, everybody kind of is doing the Google review thing, right? The Google Maps, the Yelp. Um, One thing that you can also do is you can also do YouTube videos, and you can make a YouTube channel for your shop, and you can just make a video, something informational, maybe like, hey, these are 5 things to know whenever you get in an accident, and give them those tips, or just whatever informational stuff, right? Informational stuff that they might need, right? Uh, if maybe if their steering wheel is off a little bit, that means their alignment's off. And if their steering wheel is off, that means that eventually their tires are going to wear down, and it might cause problems. So you can make a video about that, and you could post it on YouTube. And the reason why I'm saying posting it on YouTube is because when someone Googles auto collision shop or auto body shop or auto mechanic shop, they'll see you'll pop up on the video, like your video will pop up. So the videos sometimes pop up before the searches. I mean, before the ads or whatever. So it's like videos, paid ads, and then maybe you'll be somewhere down the bottom. So like the YouTube is just another way to get out there and to market your brand. The other thing you could probably do is you could probably the Facebook. Someone asked a question about Facebook ads, right? The Facebook ads, I wouldn't waste too much money on Facebook ads for your shop. And let me tell you why. Because because think about it, when someone gets in an accident, they're trying to figure out what to do in the moment, right? You're not having to sell them a product. For example, like let's just say if you're selling what can you sell, like uh you've seen those ads on Facebook and stuff. You click on the ad, and what happens is they start to gather your information, right? Because you click on the ad and you start seeing more ads of that, right? And they're trying to get you down a funnel to buy something, to buy that product, right? Well, with the auto shop, uh, the way that you're gonna attract is to add value. make content that adds value to people. Give them information about their vehicle. Share something that they can actually use, like in value wise, mentally. That's going to be very important to make videos like that. Uh, Also, too, get associated with some nonprofits in the industry, and start to in your environment or in your community, reach out to like other nonprofits and start to be a part of nonprofit groups, uh, just to network with other business owners. It's going to be very important to grow your brand, right? So now we're talking about the branding. So the marketing and the branding, that's two different things. But the marketing is where you want to make sure that you're meeting people, you're shaking hands, you're sharing what you do, and you want to be specific about what you do. Like we do insurance claims, we handle insurance claims, minor fender benders, claims like that. So you don't want to say, hey, we do everything. Like we could do it all. You want to be more specific and more niche and say, hey, you know what? We handle small insurance claims. Typical jobs take about 2 or 3 weeks. Um, we don't do any like rollovers, or we don't do any like frame sections and nothing crazy like that. Say, we're a minor repair shop, express shop, or whatever way. If you want to do heavy hits, you can do heavy hits. If you want to do uh, anything you want to start to figure out your niche. That way, when you communicate it, you don't say I'm an all-in-one shop. Like that's you don't want to be known as an all-in-one shop because you're not going to be specialized in nothing specifically, right? So you want to get down to a niche. Let's see, but we did Facebook ads about 2 years ago, and we spent I think roughly like about maybe 20,000, something like that. We spent quite a bit of money, and we never really saw like a an actual conversion rate. Like it wasn't really converting, right? We got a lot of views, and the videos got seen, but it wasn't really creating so much conversion. People were like commenting on the videos and like saying, "Hey, I got my vehicle. Uh, I need to bring it in." And see that it's not that thing too. It's not if you're starting out your shop, that's not the right sales system you want. You don't want to have a video and someone comments on it and says, "Hey, I need an estimate." Right? And you don't see it for 2 days later, and you're trying to DM them and you're trying to do all this stuff on your phone. Like it's gonna like you're gonna get lost because you don't know if that's a qualified lead or you don't know what it is, right? So the Facebook thing, I mean, you can if you make videos, that's probably gonna be the best thing to do. Just kind of make the videos and put your shop out there. Put the you can actually add the Google link in the comments. I mean, in the post, so you can put the link in the post and then post the video. That way, if they go to the link, it goes to your Google Maps, and then when it goes to your Google Maps, they'll have to call from the Google Maps. So whenever you have the Google Maps, it's gonna get track that the information. It's gonna say, okay, you know what, you got this many calls this week, and also on top of that is you can actually add your website on there. So one of the things that we do is like let's say we'll post a video, right? We'll put our Google link on there, and then when they go to our Google page, they have the option to call now. But most people will want to go to your website, okay? Because most people want to see the business, right? So when they go to the website, then we have a place where they can set an appointment. So now it's a system. So now we get an email that hey, so and so set an appointment for this time, this date, to look at their vehicle. And so now that's a qualified lead because we got the name, the email address, the phone number, and we can reach out to them. It's not just someone commenting on a post trying to get an estimate, you know? And so then from there, uh you don't even have to wait. You don't even have to wait for the appointment. You can actually contact them and says, hey, um, I noticed that you set an appointment for Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Can you tell me what you're trying to do? Oh yeah, I got in an accident, this and that, and I'm trying to find a shop. Okay. Or they might say common thing is like, yeah, I got in an accident and the insurance wants me to get 3 estimates. Like you don't have to get 3 estimates. Okay. So I explained to them, okay, look, can you send me photos of the vehicle? Uh, when are you looking to get it done? Do you need a rental? So now I'm trying to build a relationship with that person and push them further to getting the job and getting the car to the shop, right? And so I explained to them, hey, you know, the fastest way to do this is to get your car to a shop. You can go get three estimates and you can drive your car all wrecked up, but it's actually a liability because it might cause other damage. And plus, if you bring it to a shop, then the shop can get in contact with the insurance company and speed up the process. Things will happen a lot faster than you trying to get estimates, because the reason why they're trying to do estimates is because they want you to feel some sort of control of the transaction, which in reality they're not even going to look at the estimates. They're just going to go with the one they write anyway. So you're kind of like wasting your time getting those estimates. And plus, like, you might have to be at work or you might have other things you have to do. So what I typically do is I'll have them send me photos of it. I'll have them send me the insurance information, and I'll say, hey, do I have your permission to call the insurance? If they say yes, then I'll call the insurance agent and says, hey, what's the deal in this car? Why, what do we need to do to get the process going faster? If it's her insurance company, I said, hey, she's gonna need a rental, or if it's the other person's insurance, hey, can I get a reservation number so that I can get the rental set up for her? And so all that is part of the marketing. Like, it's all part of the marketing. So you don't want to just be random and just, someone message you on Facebook and it's just a random call, right? The other thing that you can set up is a call. It's called Call Rail, or it's called Podium. Okay, these products are a little bit more. They're a little bit more advanced for depending on your shop level, right? If you're just starting off, you might want to stick with Google Maps or even Yelp. Yelp is a good one too, because you can actually track the conversion. You can actually see if people are calling, right? I want to say on Google Maps, it might even give you the phone number of them who's calling, and also you can message on Google Maps. So remember, like, some people use different platforms. So some people use Yelp, some people use Google Maps. Um, the next generation is probably going to use more iPhone maps, the maps on iPhone. So that's also a place you can put your business on there. Uh, and you want to make sure that I don't have the exact. I know it's in our group. I have a link. There's I forgot the name of it. There's a website, and what you do is you go in there, right? Because remember, there's like about 50 search engines, right? There's like the neighbor, there's uh Angie's List, like all these people go for to find services. So Google Maps is not just one. So most people think Google Maps is the big deal. I like Google Maps, but you know what? Every time I ask someone, "Hey, do you have Google Maps on your phone?" They're like, "No, I don't. I don't use Google Maps. I just use Maps." Some people don't use Google Maps. Some people use Yelp. Some people love Yelp. I don't use Yelp for anything. Like, uh, but we're on Yelp. But there's a Yelp community. There's people that just use Yelp. There's people that just use Angie's List. There's people that use Yellow Pages. Like, Yellow Pages is still around. So you have to Google, hey, what are all the search what are all the search websites or something like that? And you'll see like Yelp, Google Maps, Apple, like you'll see all these ones. And there's a company that what you do is you update your information, and it'll update all of them for you. So if there's like 30 or 50 search sites, you go to this one thing and I think you pay, I want to say it's like $50 or something. It's not that much. You pay, and what it does, it updates all your listings. So they're all the same. So whenever someone searches up uh auto shop or whatever near me, you're gonna come up depending on the area location. So I hope that helped with the marketing part of it. Let me know if you have any questions on the marketing stuff. Um, one thing that you can also do is it's called a pipeline. And this is more stuff that we talk about in our group. So a little bit about what we do is, right. So we have these live webinars every Monday at 7, right? But we also have an online training platform that's only $100 a month, right? And basically what we do is, like, shop owners that are starting out, even some that are looking to start a shop, they sign up and we get on a one-on-one call every week, and we discuss pain points in their business and what they're trying to do. and we just kind of come up with strategies and to overcome those obstacles. So if you're interested in that, I'll put the link somewhere. It's not a big deal. I mean, we're going to be on here every Monday at 7. So if you have any questions, the thing is, if you're trying to go one on one, you're trying to say, hey man, like I want to dive deeper into this or anything about my business, how can you help me get that? How can you help me get equipment financing, or what are some other strategies that you use for marketing that's really kind of helped you? We share those more on the one-on-one stuff. Uh, so that's really what that is. So that's really the purpose of this webinar, is to see if maybe you're looking to grow your shop, or you're looking to start a business, and you say, hey man, I want to connect on a deeper level, man. I'm going to reach out to you so we can do that. Because I mean, we're going to be doing this every Monday, and we haven't even got into like a lot of the other stuff yet about the team, the culture, your system. Uh, there's so many different elements that go into the business part of it. That haven't got not even the technical side of it. We haven't even talked about the technical side of it. So if you're a technician, how do you transition to owning a business? Because that's a big step. It's a big shift in mindset to go from a technician to like an owner mindset. So marketing, right? So of course you want to have your business cards. The website thing, look, I'll tell you a story about a website that we learned a lot from. Okay. Uh we hired this company to build a website for us. I think it was like 20,000. Uh I appreciate it, brother. Uh that we when we first transitioned, right? Um we we paid someone to do a website for us. The website costed us $20,000, right? And it was like, okay, the website's gonna cost you 20,000 to build it out. But they said, but once you get it up, you're gonna make that money back in no time, because you're gonna be everywhere, and your website is gonna be, you know, this and that and this and that, right? They sold us on that, right? So I was like, okay, well, it sounds like it might work out, right? So we signed up the deal to do the website. It was on a contract to pay the $20,000 back, and we're gonna have to pay like monthly payments, I think, or something like that. I think it was like $1,000 a month. I'm not sure. It was a while. It's been a while back, and it took them like about maybe 2 months to build the website. We got the website back, and it was live, right? The website was live, and what I didn't like about it was they use a lot of stock photos, right? And they use a lot of stock photos for one, and then the slideshow, like the video, like the before and after jobs, like it looked like a slideshow, like from a quinceanera or something, or like from a wedding or something. Like it was like it had like the slideshow would come in and it would like fade out, like it was like if you're looking at some memory photos of the family or something, right? I just didn't really like that whole setup, right? And so then uh it didn't look too good like on the phone for some reason. Like I kept telling them, hey, like everything's gonna be on the phone now. Like everything's gonna be on the phone. Like it needs to look good on the phone. Why doesn't it look good on the phone? And what they said was like, well, it's your phone. It needs to be updated. So I updated the phone and still, and they're like, well, let's see what we can do. In fact, we have a new website, but someone said that our website wasn't looking good on our phone, but I want to say it is. I have to look into that. But so anyway, they built the website out, and we had it. Man, I just didn't like it because the guy that built it, they lived in a different state. There's nothing wrong with that, but like to get a hold of him was like I had to email him exactly what I wanted him to change, and and I just didn't know like if people were actually going to the website or not. And so it was just too much of a like I didn't understand the language of the website development, right? And so I was like, hey, like how many people are going to our website, or like how do I figure that out? And he's like, oh, well, you got to look at the dashboard, and you got to run the analytics, and you got to look at this and click conversion, and so he sent me that information, but I didn't even know what I was looking at, right? So anyway, we ended up paying them off. I think it was took forever to pay them, it seems like. And the service sucked. That company sucked, right? Well, whenever we finished paying them off, I was still trying to make some changes on it. And I said, hey, I said I would like to have the rights to my domain name, right? And this is going to be very important. So whenever someone builds you a website, okay, and you pay them, okay, a lot of times they have the access to your domain name, like they own the domain name, and so that's one way that they lock you in. So, for example, if your shop is abcautomotive.com, and that's your business, you built that business, but someone else is doing your website and you don't have access to that domain name, like they pretty much have the keys to your branding right there. So whenever I figured this out, uh, I said, "Hey, I need to get access to my domain name. I need to have it in my possession." So they said, "Well, let me send you the information to do that." And I'm surprised they did, but they did. Okay, once I got that domain information, then I was able to move that domain wherever I wanted it, and I had ownership of it. It was in my possession. You see, so it wasn't like, hey, I'm on this subscription. I got to pay every month, and if I stop paying, they're gonna shut my website. And they're gonna keep my domain name, and you can't go buy the new domain name because someone already owns it. You see, or you have to buy it from them, right? So it can get very tricky, especially if you're trying to build your website up, right? So I said, you know what I need to do is I need to change it quick. So what I did was we went ahead and went with GoDaddy, right? Which is not like uh the best website in the world, but what it did was it gave us access to make changes fast. So because we were able to make changes fast, we were able to upload like recent photos, maybe like events that we did. We upload event photos there, right? But we also gave us the opportunity to create that estimate request form, so people can go in there and fill out that form, and we get an email of it, right? And so now I'm actually see everything in real time, and now I have kind of controls over that that system, right? And so as we keep growing, and the machine getting bigger and bigger, eventually we're gonna maybe have in-house, or we're going to do something bigger with that if we need to, right? Because we have access of that domain name, and we can make some changes. Maybe we want to develop an app. Maybe we want to do online estimating. Maybe we want to do like whatever the case may be. You will have access to do that. So you always want to think long term. Okay, how am I going to position this long term to where like it's going to be in a position of my advantage? I'm not going to be handcuffed to some server company that has all my information. Then if I want to get from it, it's hard to get that information from them. So you want to make sure you have access to that. That's going to be very, very important. And let's see what else on marketing. What other questions y'all have on marketing? What other questions y'all have on marketing? Let me know what questions y'all have on marketing. And we're almost done. We have a couple minutes left. I can answer some questions really quick if y'all have some. And then next week we're gonna cover. Let me see. Let me see if I can share this. There you go. There you go. Next week we still have to go over the branding, the management, the hiring, the estimating, commission, and I got some other stuff that's gonna be pretty exciting for y'all later. But I mean, this is some of the basic stuff that you're gonna have to see. If you notice on any of this stuff, it's not technical work. It's not technician work. This is all ownership work. So Um, so this is all ownership work that I don't know if you can see it on the TikTok, but we're actually on Zoom here. But I'm sharing that the thing here. But that's this is all technical work here. I wonder if I can airdrop this to my thing. Let me see. If y'all have any questions, man, in the chat, let me know in the chat and on TikTok. Um, if there's any on YouTube, I can't see those right now, but I'll definitely go back and answer those questions for y'all. Let me see if I can airdrop this to my phone that I could probably share with you. I don't know if he's gonna let me share it, but I'll try it. Share this. Well, if you let me know if you have any questions on TikTok about the marketing and about equipment. Oh shoot. Let me see if I don't know if it's gonna let me share. If you have any questions about marketing or let me do it. I was gonna try to add a photo here. Let me see. Double sticker. No. Anyway. So hey, if you have any more questions, we're about to jump out of here. Once again, every Monday at 7 Central Standard Time, we'll be coming live. If you follow us on YouTube, make sure you give us a subscribe, and you'll probably get a notification when we're live again, and that way you can just kind of jump on live. All right, man. We'll see you next week. Yeah. Check us out on YouTube. You'll probably get a notification when we go live, or you can actually watch some of the replays. Some of the other stuff that I do during the week, I don't post those on our YouTube. They're actually in another platform that we have. That if y'all want to learn more about that, or if y'all want to get access to that, just reach out to me, and I'll tell you what it is and see if it makes sense for you. You know, like it if it doesn't make sense, I'll let you know. Hey, this is probably not the right information you need. But a lot of times, you need someone that to guide you. Um, you need someone to guide you and kind of figure out what the next step is, right? Because if not, you're going to be running in circles. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I speak from experience on being like running in circles for a long time. You know, I started my business when I was, I dropped out of school when I was 16. For one, I got to work in a body shop at a very young age. I started off, detailing, washing cars, buffing. Then I learned how to do body work. Then I learned how to, do painting, and you know, did custom painting for a very long time. Was actually ranked one of the top painters in Texas, and I really just kind of got like I really was excited by the business part of it, like the business, understanding the business, because um, fixing a car, like it was fun, but I I kind of found it kind of a little bit of kind of found it like a little bit of a routine. I don't know. I just didn't. Um, I guess I was just learning a lot because I started reading a lot of books and I started like meeting a lot of people in business, and I was just excited to learn more about business. So that's where I consumed myself with business, and now it's been probably like about 15 years of just straight business like development and learning and mentors and growing the business and growing the brand. And really like right now we're not even like midway point to where we're going to go. There's so much changing with the business, with the other businesses, and there's so much growth. There's so much growth, and there's so much like of just kind of self understanding that I went through. Like, who am I as a person? That really changed. So it's exciting. I'm excited for the next couple of years to see where all this goes. And part of that transition is just coming on these videos and hooking up with people from all over, because you know what, down the road, like there's people that have been with us since we first started, right? And they've seen the growth, they've seen the transition, they see what's coming. And who knows, down the road there might be some partnership opportunities, there might be some financing opportunities where we're actually helping shops get funding. We're actually saying, hey, like this is our network of lenders, this is our network of whatever you need to get your business off the ground. So it's going to be like a private mastermind group of guys that have access to resources to blow up their shop, from marketing to website development to social media to funding to systems and processes to like leveraging our network to buy equipment or material at a cheap rate, like because we're using all our buying power to get discounts. So this thing is way bigger than just these videos or anything like that. We're looking to partner up with people around the world that are just wanting to build a business, that are looking to partner up with people. I just got into the body shop business from trucking. I learned from you a lot, man. I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, man. Reach out to us if we can help with anything. All right, guys. Till next week. Later.